Este é o sinal que você precisava para ter o seu carro Honda. Aqui na Honda Auto House, eles oferecem mais do que apenas veículos. Oferecem confiança, hospitalidade, inovação e segurança. Aqui você encontra a opção perfeita para você e a sua família. E se você está procurando um modelo atual que ofereça conforto e tecnologia, te apresento o novo Honda ZR-V, um SUV que combina design elegante, tecnologia de ponta e desempenho excepcional. Central multimídia de 9 polegadas com conectividade sem fio, acabamentos internos refinados e materiais de alta qualidade que proporcionam conforto e requinte. Motor 2.0. Visite a Honda Auto House e aproveite as condições especiais de financiamento. A equipe está sempre pronta para ajudar você a encontrar o carro dos seus sonhos. Um brinde ao seu próximo Honda. Venha para a Honda Auto House. Olá! Hoje nós estamos gravando um programa muito especial para vocês. Então, estamos aqui na residência oficial do embaixador e da embaixatriz de Malta no Brasil. Nosso querido amigo de vocês, John Aquilina e Anne Aquilina. E vamos mostrar para vocês essa casa muito especial que recebe o programa Wiliam Mundo, já para desejar a todos um Feliz Natal. Então, vamos lá. Na capital, na antiga cidade de Medina, a antiga capital de Malta, as casas, a campainha é assim, tá vendo? Ó? Aí você vai bater. Vamos ver se tem alguém em casa. Oh!
Wiliam!
Oh, my friend! Oh!
So nice to see you.
Welcome
Welcome
you
to
very much.
Casa Aquilina.
Obrigado, meu amigo. Thank you very much. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, welcome to our house. We're still getting it, organised,
Whoa.
but it's happening. It's happening. So lovely to have friends here.
Oh, thank you.
And so lovely to welcome you here among us too.
Oh, my friend.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Very good.
Whoa.
So, would you like a cup of coffee?
Oh. Obrigado. Para mim ou para você?
Thank you. Supposed to be serving you.
Pô, mas esse é
Anyway.
café de Malta, né? Embaixador, já começando. Opa, saúde. Fale um pouco sobre esta amizade do Brasil e de Malta, né? Já tem um tempo, talvez um ano que nós gravamos com você. Então, fale para o público de casa como é que estão as negociações, essa amizade de Malta e Brasil.
Well, look, I've now been here over 3 years, and I was sent here to establish the embassy.
Yeah, 3
The
years.
first
Yes.
Maltese ambassador resident in Brazil. In fact, the first one resident in the whole of Latin America. Malta chose Brazil
Yes.
as a way of introducing Malta to Latin America. And I've got to say, it's been a fantastic experience. Absolutely fantastic. Enjoyed myself immensely.
Very good.
Couldn't ask more of the Brazilian government. It helped us along the way the whole time. No request was too big for them. They've been of great assistance to us. And now we're in the final stages of our construction and fitting out of the new embassy. And we hope that in March of 2026, we'll be able to move into the new embassy. So I'll have you there and welcome you to our new embassy.
Yes,
But relationships are growing very quickly, and they're growing extremely well. The Maltese are discovering an untapped market in Brazil, and Brazilian business people are waking up to the fact that in the south of Europe, particularly through our location, and using Malta as a key to the rest of Europe, there is much to be gained. So that is one of the things we're exploring, one of the things we're working on. You know, setting up an embassy is not just about bricks and mortar. It's not just about the building and the protocols and all the rest of it. It's more about creating the people-to-people links. It's more about creating the political links and also establishing the business links. That's the real hard job of setting up an embassy. The actual structural buildings and so forth, well, we take those as a matter of course, it has to be done. But it's actually then building the bridges between people, building the bridges between government, building the bridges between business. That is the important part of setting up an embassy. And that's what I am now focusing on, that's what I'm concentrating on. And I must say, it's a relatively easy job because there's so much here to be gained and so much happens. And I've had business people from Malta very, very interested, very keen, and other things too. And later on, we'll talk about things like tourism, for example. Brazilians are discovering what a gem Malta is.
Yes.
They are coming there by the thousands. You know, last year we had more than 25,000 Brazilians visited Malta. 25,000. And of course, when they come there, many of them want to stay. They think they can come there for 3 or 4 days, but then they find, oh, this is not long enough. There's so much to do, so much to see, so much to experience. We want Brazilians to know more and more about our little gem. We want them to come and see us. We want them to come and taste our food. We want them to come and feel the water and the sand of our beaches. And we want them to come and experience our culture and our history. And we just want them to come and have a good time.
Nossa, uma aula de história. Nosso amigo, olha, para dizer para vocês, né, que Malta tem consolidado toda essa amizade, todo esse carinho e realmente, né, a Embaixada de Malta veio para ficar. Na verdade, né, já estão construindo a nova embaixada, será inaugurada no próximo ano, em breve, no início do ano. E essas pontes que Malta constrói em todos os segmentos, né? Seja na área da economia, da educação, da indústria, da cultura e todas, muitas outras mais, para realmente consolidar a presença de Malta aqui no Brasil. E hoje nós estamos visitando esse amigo muito querido e estamos aqui para celebrar o Natal com todos vocês. Então o embaixador abriu as portas da residência oficial para convidar o programa Wiliam Mundo para passarmos uma tarde especial e falar um pouco também sobre o Natal em Malta. Embaixador, fale para o público de casa sobre a comemoração do Natal, talvez uma das festas mais lindas de Malta. E vocês, inclusive, prepararam essa árvore tão bonita para o nosso programa. Fale para a gente sobre como é festejar o Natal em Malta.
Well, I mean, as you said, Malta is beautiful. Malta is always beautiful any season of the year, but at Christmas time, it's especially beautiful.
Very good.
You know, many other countries, they have theme parks. They set up sort of places, special places for children and people to be happy.
Wow.
In Malta, wherever you go at Christmas time, it's like a huge theme park.
Wow.
And Christmas is such a magnificent time in Malta. You know, in Malta we are a very Christian country. And we have 365 churches, one church for every day of the year.
Yes, yes.
You can imagine what these churches are like
Very
at
good.
Christmas time, with all the decorations, with all the lights, but also our big cities. You come to Valletta, and Valletta is just magnificent with coloured lights and decorations and fancy things that people just go, wow, it's just breathtaking. Young children just, you know, say they're amazed. But even older children like myself, you know, cannot help but be amused by and enchanted by the beauty of it all. And it's there, you know, with you all the time. And everywhere you go, you hear the sound of Christmas. So it's not just the sights of Christmas, you have the sound of Christmas as well. You've got the Christmas carols, children singing, you've got people playing their loudspeakers, you've got even people travelling their cars with Christmas carols. You can hear them as they stop at the traffic lights.
Yes.
So you've got sights, you've got sounds, and then of course as you come to Christmas Day itself, you've got the taste of Christmas. Wow. The beautiful Maltese culinary dishes, which are outstanding. You know, the Maltese know how to celebrate a feast day, know how to celebrate an important event. Yes. And we do that with magnificent food, we do that with great gastronomic activities and pleasures, and they're delights which cannot be repeated anywhere else. And really, we prepare for these things a long, long time. Rather, quite often, it's in the past it used to be always the women who prepared, and sometimes the grandparents, the grandmothers. But now a lot of the men get in there. They get involved and they prepare things too. So you know, it becomes very much a family thing. And of course, there are now many outdoor activities too. So you've got sights, you've got sounds, you've got tastes, and you've got many, many things to do, because there are a lot of things, a lot of activities to be involved with. And it doesn't matter what season of the year you're in Malta, there's always something to occupy you all year round. But Christmas time is just, well, it's just something very special. I said we are a Christian country. We're also very much a family country. And of course, Christmas is very much about families. And when families come together, quite often from far away, you've got to remember that many, many Maltese families have relatives who are living in other countries. Malta has a very large diaspora. At Christmas time, many of these families unite. So you have mother, father, brother, sister, son, daughter, seeing each other quite often, coming together at Christmas time, and they don't live in the same country, they may live elsewhere, but at Christmas time they make a special effort to come together and to unite. So it's a great homecoming, it's a great family event, it's a great, it's a holy event as well for us. It's a time of coming together, a time of joy, a time of happiness. So yes, we like to share all of that exuberance and all the wonderful things that Malta has to offer. Obviously, we share them among ourselves as Maltese, but we like to share them with the rest of the world as well. So that's why I'm delighted to have this opportunity here today to be able to tell the people of Brazil exactly what a beautiful place, what a heartwarming place Malta is, and how much we welcome people to come to us. We are, as well as being family-oriented, we are also very hospitable. Hospitality is a key word in Malta. Doesn't matter where you come from in the world, you come to Malta, you're welcome there.
Uou! O embaixador está convidando todos vocês para conhecer essas belezas de Malta, essa época, principalmente, né, quando o Cristo vem aos nossos corações cada vez mais, porque o Natal, a família maltesa, assim como famílias pelo mundo inteiro, onde estão nós cristãos que celebramos o Natal, esse Cristo vivo, e Malta tem realmente como um país cristão, vamos dizer, essa energia, todo esse mistério de amor, de paz, de milênios e milênios de história. Porque em Malta, inclusive, vocês têm uma igreja para cada dia do ano, sim, e os malteses celebram. Como ele estava falando agora, né, nessa capital, nessa linda cidade, uma cidade milenar, que é a cidade de Valletta, que tem um porto natural que se prepara para receber o mundo inteiro. Mas, embaixador, agora fale para o público de casa sobre essa árvore de Natal. Olha, pessoal, eles fizeram essa árvore para o nosso programa.
Well, I mean,
Whoa!
we have a little bit of Christmas here at the Casa Aquilina in Brazil.
Very good.
So
Beautiful.
yes, all credit to my wife. She takes credit for all of this. She has a great touch with putting things beauty. A lot of things you probably don't see. But anyway, it's not much. it's something small. We've been very busy this year, and we're very busy until relatively recent days. So we really haven't had much time to do very much at all. But anyway, we've made a little token sort of Christmas effort, and hopefully it'll bring us some cheer. We will enjoy this on Christmas Day among some friends, and we'll be able to relive some of our memories of Malta here a long way away. Unfortunately,
very good.
I don't have the opportunity to go to Malta for Christmas this year, so we will be somewhat nostalgic, thinking about Malta and thinking about our friends and family members there. But here we are. We will be a long way away, but our hearts will be together, and distance and time mean nothing when you've got opportunity to celebrate, and we'll all be celebrating at the same time.
Whoa. Rocking around Christmas tree, la 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 la. Beautiful. Gente, que árvore linda.
Anyway,
E aqui nós temos também um presépio, né, embaixador?
Yeah, we have
Olha.
a little crib here and a nativity scene. These are actually, this is a Brazilian actually. These we found these here in Brazil, made out of jacaranda wood.
Jacarandá.
Jacaranda wood. Yeah, jacaranda wood. So beautifully carved. Everywhere we go, we pick up little bits and pieces. We've got other nativity scenes from different countries as well, but this is obviously the best one, the most relevant one here. And they're simple, but they're beautiful.
Beautiful.
And they mean a lot for us. So it'll be part of our collection.
Very good, very good. Embaixador, fale para o público de casa a importância de vocês, malteses, celebrarem este Natal, principalmente o do senhor que está aqui no Brasil, né? Nós temos esta afinidade, e nós, brasileiros aqui, que recebemos muito bem pessoas de todos os povos, de todas as religiões do mundo inteiro, e vocês que já estão com esse aconchego, já são brasileiros. O senhor e a embaixatriz já são brasileiros agora para nós, né? Irmãos malteses que vieram para o Brasil e se adaptaram de uma forma muito simples, muito tranquila. Como é que é para vocês estarem já nesses praticamente 3 anos aqui no Brasil? Fala um pouquinho sobre essa rotina de vocês no Brasil.
Well, we've been really, really busy here in Brazil. It's hard to believe we've been here more than 3 years now. It seems like 3 minutes. The time just flies. Every day is so different from the day before. And we have so much to look forward to in the days to come. So it's great to be able to experience Brazil. It's great to be able to enjoy what we do. And it's just wonderful to be mixing with Brazilians. Brazil's such a big country. There's so much more of it that we would like to see, we haven't seen. And we keep worrying about time running out all the time, because there's just so much to do and so much to cover. My work keeps me very busy. I love that because I enjoy doing what I do. I think it's great. But we enjoy meeting up with Brazilians. We enjoy visiting different parts of Brazil. We enjoy the history and the culture of Brazil. And there's so much here, so much history and so much art. And we're putting together a few bits and pieces of art for our own. Everywhere we go, we collect some bits and pieces. In India, we have quite a collection of Indian art, as you can probably see from different things around the house. We have some Chinese pieces, quite a lot of actually Chinese porcelain pieces we've collected. We're now collecting quite a fair bit of Brazilian sculptures, wooden sculptures. Not just these little ones here, but we have some quite large animal sculptures as well, and also some Brazilian artworks. So when we finally do sort of settle down, whenever that be, I don't know when that's going to be. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't even think about it. When we do settle down, we're going to have many, many memories, and among those memories will be cherished memories of Brazil, of its environment, of its culture, of its history, and most importantly, of its people.
Wow, very good. Muito obrigado, meu amigo. Só para falar para vocês que nesse tempo que o embaixador e a embaixatriz, o embaixador Aquilina e a embaixatriz Anne estão no Brasil, eles já conheceram e foram adentrando pelos espaços e conhecendo os estados, as cidades, cada região, né, com a sua peculiaridade, e o embaixador realmente ele coleciona de todos os lugares que ele já esteve no mundo, muitas obras de arte. Aqui do Brasil também já tem um acervo grande nessa casa que nos recebe nessa tarde. Embaixador, agora nós já falamos dessa árvore de Natal linda, nós mostramos o presépio, algumas obras de arte, e o Ano Novo. Como é que é o Ano Novo? Eu vi que tem muitos fogos, é uma festa lindíssima. Como é que é a comemoração do Ano Novo para vocês?
Christmas and New Year, they run into each other. The festivities have hardly finished for Christmas when you start the festivities for the New Year. And of course, the New Year is a time of rejuvenation. It's a time of looking forward, a time of rebirth. And that's the way we look forward to it in Malta. We look forward to a new year of new things happening. You know, Malta is advancing so quickly that there's so much anticipation all the time. And I think if I can say anything about maybe 2026 and the new year, it's a year of anticipation, a year when we really anticipate great things to happen, because each year the pace keeps happening, it keeps going faster and faster. And our tourism now is just growing so fast, so fast. Now we're opening up new markets, new territories like Brazil and Latin America generally. We have a marketing team here looking after Latin America, and they're doing a wonderful job. They've been here twice already this year promoting tourism in different parts of Brazil, and attracting, you know, as I said, thousands and thousands of people to Malta. We have a lot of Brazilians who are keen to learn English, and one of the things that we specialise in Malta is our English language schools. We have a large number of English language schools, and we have a large number of Brazilians now coming. Some they come maybe for 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months. Some come for longer courses, maybe 6 months or more, and they come for special reasons, not just school students or university students or people just wanting generally to improve their English, but we have journalists, for example, coming to Malta to learn English. We have people in business, business communications, wanting to improve their business English. We have people from the medical fraternities coming to improve their medical English. So many courses are specifically designed. But of course, in Malta, there's just so many things to do. And you know, 2 things. One, I have never, ever had anybody come back from Malta and say that they were disappointed.
Ooh.
Never. In all the years I've been in public life, the many thousands of people I've known who've gone to Malta have come back. And the other thing also is that many of them come back and say, we only went for a few days because we thought, being a small place, we would get to see and to know everything, and now we've got to go back because there's so much more that we wanted to see, so much more we want to do, and we just haven't had the opportunity to do that because we only planned such a short period of time. So my message to people wanting to go to Malta, or being enticed or encouraged or being tempted to come to Malta, is don't sell yourself short. Don't think that just because the space is small that you're going to get bored or you're not going to have enough to do. Rather, the space is small, so that makes things more compact. It makes it so much easier to do so much more. And no matter how much you do, there's always more and more and more and more that you'll want to do, you'll want to see, and you'll want to try. So that's just basic philosophy about Malta. You'll never ever get bored in Malta. Maltese have been living there all their lives. They're never bored in Malta. So anybody who comes there for a few days is definitely not going to get bored in Malta.
Embaixador, para as pessoas que estão nos assistindo agora, vamos fazer um convite, inclusive, para esses estudantes, né? Eu mesmo, vocês de casa, para a gente estudar inglês em Malta, né? Fazer um intercâmbio de algumas semanas para melhorar o inglês, para destravar, na verdade, né? Carol Félix está falando ali, destravar a língua. Eu, por exemplo, a compreensão vem, estou entendendo tudo que você fala sempre. Aí na hora de falar a gente trava. Então você tem que estar num lugar, inclusive o preço de Malta, é muito importante a gente falar sobre isso. Os preços dos cursos de inglês, talvez da Europa, o lugar mais em conta seria Malta, mais acessível para todos de casa. Isso é bem interessante. Vamos lá, pessoal, quem sabe a gente vai junto e tal, vamos fazer uma excursão para poder estudarmos inglês em Malta. E faz esse convite, embaixador, para o público de casa.
Well, of course, if people want to learn English, if they want to improve their English, we have so many specialised courses in Malta. And I invite people to sort of consider Malta. One, we have a great cost advantage because our English language schools are relatively cheaper than many other places. Two, Malta is a great place to come and learn English. But the whole sort of environment and nature of Malta, the hospitality of the Maltese, people come there to do their English courses and they think they're on holiday, which is what we like, because you can combine the two. But the thing about Malta and the language schools, English language schools, is that we have specialised English language schools to suit specific needs. So even last night I was at a function and a government official came out to me and he said, Ambassador, I said, yes, and I've known this person for some time, but he said, I've never told you, he said, I went to Malta to study English. I said, really? I said, how long were you there for? He said, I was only there for 2 weeks. He said, but it was just like a refresher course. He said, but it was so important for me, so good for me. He said, it was a long time ago now. He said, but, he said, I encourage other people to do that too. And actually, I do come across quite a few Brazilian business people or Brazilian government people who have been to Malta to improve on their English, and some academics as well. But more and more and more, we're finding just general Brazilians wanting to come to Malta. Last year, 2024, there were 5,700 Brazilians came to learn English in Malta.
Whoa.
And the number is increasing rapidly. This year, I am told, the number will probably be somewhere close to 8,000, if not more. So, it's for us, obviously, for Malta, it's good business. But for the Brazilians, it's also of great economic advantage. It's a way of improving or learning English in an environment that's very friendly, an environment that's very warm and welcoming, and people go there to study, but they go there to also have a good time, and they do. They have a great time.
Very good. Very good. Tá feito o convite para vocês. Então, pessoal, agora, embaixador, que nós já falamos sobre as festas, já convidamos os nossos amigos para estudar em Malta. Fale para a gente, embaixador, vamos agora trocar de ambiente. Nós vamos sentar ali naquela sala, na outra sala, para a gente falar um pouquinho mais agora sobre um grupo de investimento que é maltês, que abriu os braços para o Brasil e para o mundo inteiro, que é o Grupo Sigma. Voltamos já.
Okay. Well, of course, we were talking earlier about business interests here in Brazil, and Maltese are taking an interest in business in Brazil. One very prominent worldwide company, of course, that is a Maltese company is Sigma.
Sigma Group.
And Sigma has now had 3 major expos here in Brazil, as well as
Sigma, very important.
It's a very important business.
Yes.
It is this year at their expo in São Paulo. They had 18,000 international registered visitors. Whoa. So it's good business for Brazil as well, because they brought in people from other Latin American countries as well as from some Asian countries. They had about 270 major venues at this expo. This is the big Transamerica Expo in São Paulo, and this was their 3rd year. Each year they've grown bigger and bigger, and next year they're planning major things as well. This year I also organised a big a la carte lunch here for the Sigma executives, and we invited many members of Congress, many senatores, also prominent lawyers here from Brasilia and business people, And what, of course, Sigma is into is iGaming. Malta has a lot of experience with iGaming. And even now that the Brazilian government has legislated for iGaming, it's very important because they're now working out all the ordinances, all the guidelines to the laws about how iGaming is going to operate. And I offered before on behalf of the Maltese government that we have 25 years of experience with this. We're very happy to provide our support and our assistance to the Brazilian government on this as well. And just to improve the links between Malta and Brazil in terms of not only iGaming, but other things that go with it, with digital economy, for example, and the digital technology expansion. We have other things as well in the business field, particularly now of looking at trading. And with the EU-Mercosur agreement looking like happening, that's going to be very important for Malta because Malta is a maritime country. We are, of course, very much devoted to trade and improving opportunities for trade. And having EU-Mercosur means that more of the Latin American countries, including Brazil, Argentina, and others, Paraguay, and are going to be able to negotiate more with Europe. And they'll be looking at major ports as to where they can take their big container ships. Malta has Grand Harbour. We can take the largest ships that have been built. It's a huge transshipment area. And the other thing also about Malta is we're also establishing in Malta a huge aviation hub. We're a small country, we have a massive airport. Yes. Our airport is huge. And we are now establishing at our airport a big aviation centre for cargo planes to come in, offload their goods in Malta and then have them sort of flown to other parts of Europe as well. So great opportunities in Malta, and there are great opportunities for Brazilian business people to look at another perspective. The historical links between Brazil and Europe in terms of trade have understandably been through Portugal and Spain. But there are other links as well that they need to look at. And the middle Mediterranean, the Eastern Mediterranean are all important markets. And Brazil needs to look at those markets. And Malta is a great gateway for all of those markets.
É muito importante, embaixador, quando nós falamos de Malta estar também neste lugar privilegiado no mundo, porque Malta está praticamente no meio do mar Mediterrâneo. Então, navios, aviões de vários lugares da Europa, da América, América Central, América do Norte, América do Sul, para chegar a Malta e de lá também para poder levar as suas mercadorias e de outros países do mundo inteiro, aproveitando principalmente o contato com Malta, viário, e também não viário, o contato de Malta por avião e o contato de Malta pelo porto. Então, o porto de vocês, o próprio porto natural de Valletta, que chega assim, dezenas e dezenas de navios todos os dias, fazendo essa ligação com o mundo. Como é que é para o senhor poder falar sobre isso, sabendo da importância que Malta tem estrategicamente, não só para a Europa, mas para o mundo inteiro, porque Malta se torna, além de um país muito atrativo para o turismo, se torna como é que eu posso dizer, um entreposto comercial muito importante.
Malta, of course, is a maritime country. I mean, we are an island nation. We have many ports. Many grand harbours that can take very large ships, and we have been, for thousands of years, seafaring people and welcoming ships from all over the world. Malta is a natural gateway to Europe, a natural gateway. We are located in probably one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, the shipping lane between the Suez Canal and Gibraltar. Now, the number of ships that pass through there, and of course, we're right in the middle of all of that. And we have these grand harbours and ports where the largest ships in the world can anchor. And of course, they can offload their produce, whether it's Brazilian soybeans or Brazilian sugar, or minerals or petroleum, and we then load them into the smaller ships that are able to navigate the other smaller harbours and ports of the Mediterranean Sea and the Adriatic Sea, and also parts of the Atlantic. So that is a part of what we do. It's been traditionally our work. It's something we're very expert in. We have the big free port in Malta, and we would like to encourage more Brazilian trade to come further into the Mediterranean. You know, I visited a number of very large ports here in Brazil, particularly up in the northern part of Brazil. And it's astounded me that the great bulk of the ships, I mean, look, probably 99%, go to Spain, they go to Portugal, or they keep going further north to Germany, or to Belgium, and to Poland, and the northern ports of Rotterdam and Antwerp and those sorts of areas. The furthest most Brazilian ships come into the Mediterranean is to Valencia on the east coast of Spain. If they went a little further on into Malta, they would be able to access the north of Africa. They'd be able to access the other ports of Greece, of Turkey, as well as southern Italy, and do a whole lot more trade in terms of that part of the Mediterranean and the southern part of Europe. And I think it'll change because the cost benefits are there. The feasibility studies will show that there are massive cost benefits in terms of going a little bit further into the Mediterranean than continue to go much further north. Yes. And there's enough to share for everybody. And particularly with the EU-Mercosur agreement going through and the increased exports coming to Europe from the Latin American countries, including Brazil, it'll be extremely important. You know, I keep telling them in Malta, Brazil is the largest agricultural exporter in the world. It's one of the great food baskets of the world. In a world where we are very much preoccupied with issues of food security, Brazil is poised to play an extremely important role. And we need to be able to find channels and improving channels of getting food, particularly food exports, but other forms of exports out of Brazil into Europe and to other parts of that area of the world. So there's huge opportunities here. And I think most of the opportunities are still untapped. And it's not going to turn around in 5 minutes, we know that. But one has to sow the seed, one has to start, and one has to encourage people to undertake the economic studies, which I'm convinced will show that there are huge economic advantages in using places like Malta, not only Malta, but places like Malta as a gateway into Europe. Of course, from my perspective, you can't get a better gateway into Europe than Malta itself, the use of our harbours, and now increasingly the use of aviation through our aviation hub.
Uou! Olha, gente, nosso querido amigo embaixador John Aquilina, hoje dando essa entrevista especial, exclusiva, para comemorar o Natal do nosso programa Wiliam Mundo com vocês, aqui diretamente da residência oficial do embaixador John Aquilina e da embaixatriz Anne, para falarmos mais sobre essas impressões, essa amizade e também sobre essa sólida cultura e principalmente essa sólida relação bilateral entre Brasil e Malta. E agora nós acabamos de falar justamente sobre isso, né? Sobre a conectividade de Malta com o mundo. Então esse porto natural de Valletta, os outros portos de Malta que se conectam não só com o Brasil, mas com o mundo inteiro. Embaixador, agora fale um pouquinho mais sobre a sua vida aqui no Brasil. Então o senhor veio para cá e aí, com o passar do tempo, foram chegando as suas obras de arte. Fala um pouquinho sobre esse cantinho especial aqui, onde nós temos, que inclusive tem uma obra de arte, né, de um pintor brasileiro. Fale para a gente mais sobre essa amizade que o senhor leva também para a sua casa, para a sua residência e para a sua família?
Well, of course, Fernando Lopes is well known as a Brazilian artist. He is a major cartoonist as well in one of the main daily newspapers here in Brazil. And I particularly like that painting. It's 1984. I suppose it's getting on a bit now, over 40 years old. And it's a painting which I very much enjoy. But it's part of the collection we're putting together of some Brazilian art. We've got some more up there, some Peruvian art up there as well. I've got some Australian art mixed in with this. So it's just so as to show that we are very much cosmopolitan people of the world. And and in other parts of the house, we've got Indian art and Chinese art as well, and Chinese porcelain pieces. And we've got some Brazilian crystal and other things. So, it's part of who we are. We very much embrace the people and the culture of where we are, and we make it part of us, part of our lives, and we take it with us wherever we go.
Meu amigo, nós nos conhecemos, não me recordo agora, mas foi num evento diplomático. E o que mais me chamou a atenção em relação a você, ao senhor embaixador, é o seu jeito de ser sempre envolvente, carismático, amigo. E Malta, nós vemos que Malta é isso. As pessoas de Malta são fraternas, são educadas, são elegantes, são queridas, são fofas, cutes, são fofas. E talvez esses são laços muito fortes que nos unem. Então, fale um pouquinho agora, embaixador, sobre o povo de Malta. O povo de Malta que é a maior joia, a maior preciosidade de Malta, que é este povo de um país pequeno em relação ao Brasil, um país bem pequeno, mas que abre os braços sempre para o mundo inteiro, porque onde nós estamos no mundo sempre tem um maltês.
Well, of course, the people of Malta are very much a people of mixed origins. Yes. Malta is at the crossroads of many civilizations. We're right in the heart of the Mediterranean. In fact, you can't get any place in the world more central in terms of Western civilization than Malta, because the Mediterranean Sea was the center of the Western world, as it was known in ancient times, and Malta's right in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. And because of the fact that we are a link between the African culture and the European culture, and also the Western European culture and the Middle East, we have many cross cultures. And if you look at our surnames, for example, like my surname Aquilina, okay, it's of Latin origin, although actually through Spain. But Aquilina means is a Latin word meaning like the eagle. It comes from the Latin word aquila, the eagle. But then we have many other names that are of Arabic background, like a lot of the cities in our country. Imdina, Rabat, they have Mosta. They have Arabic names. We have a lot of people with Arabic surnames. So it doesn't it doesn't matter where we come from in Malta. We are, of course, very much Maltese, a country of, as I said, mixed origins. And for that reason, I think we are very welcoming of people from wherever they come in the world. We open arms to them, and people come to Malta, as I said earlier today, for a few days. They realise that their time was too short. They come back, and some of them keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. Now, we are a small country, yes. We have 500,000 people in our population, although 100,000 of that 500,000 people are actually foreigners living with permanent residency in Malta. But last year, in 2024, we had more than 3 million people. 3 million people came to Malta to experience what Malta was like. And they're so happy there.
Brasil recebeu 6 milhões. O Brasil recebeu 6 milhões de pessoas. 6 milhões só.
6. Well, we had
6 in Brazil. Yes.
Yeah.
Até setembro, 6 milhões só.
So, and also, as I said before,
It's
we had
incredible.
Brazilians are coming to Malta to study English. Last year, more than 5,700 Brazilians enrolled in our English language schools. We had more than 25,000 that we know of Brazilian people come as tourists to Malta. But we don't really know how many Brazilians come because many Brazilians have got European passports. So, you know, they come to Malta, we can't really tell because they don't need visas and they have European passports, whether it's they've got Italian passports, others have got Portuguese passports. But we know that there are at least 25,000. It could have been as many as 40, 50,000, but at least 25,000 came to Malta last year from Brazil.
Very good.
You know, we were talking earlier about Brazil, and I said, what a beautiful, beautiful country this is and how big it is.
Bigger.
And my great fear now, after having been here 3 years, is that, you know, it's gone so fast that I've only seen a limited number of places here in Brazil. There's so many, many more places I'd like to go to. My wife and I would love to visit more places, for example, in the south of Brazil. I've hardly visited anything in the south of Brazil. I'd love to go, for example, to Porto Alegre and to Gramado. I haven't seen that. I would like to visit more of the state of Santa Catarina, for example. They told me it's such a beautiful state. I've been to Florianopolis, but only for a limited visit, but I'd like to see a lot more of that as well. And then there's the state of Bahia, with,
Salvador.
and Salvador. They told me this is good, and so many of my friends have been to Salvador, and they said, you must go there, John, you must go there, John. But finding the time, you know, I just don't. And of course, then there's Manaus and Amazonia.
Belém.
Belém. I've been to Belém, but I was so busy with COP30, I didn't get a chance to see any of Belém.
Yes.
I'd love to go back there, and I'd love to see bits of Amazonia as well, and the northern states of Pernambuco, for example. I've seen some of Pernambuco. We have an honorary consul there, Professor Thales Castro, who's from Recife. Very, very important man, a lovely gentleman, and he's shown me around parts of Recife, but there's so many other parts I'd like to see, and travel along the northern coastline of Brazil, as well as through the Amazon, as I said. We have been in Mato Grosso do Sul, and I saw part of Pantanal, but I'd like to see a lot more. So, yeah, I mean, it's such a vast country. Where do you stop, you know?
Mas tem que conhecer.
From Pernambuco to Rio Grande do Sul, it's just so much to see, and Brasilia is stuck here in the middle. But talking of Brasilia, one of the great things that I enjoy from this house is being able to look upon the Brasilia architecture in the distance there, and it's you know, it's a great pleasure to see. I mean, I work there in that location, so it's good to be able to see it from here, and it takes many different forms. In the morning, when the sun is coming up in the east, it's all gold because it reflects on the buildings. And
really?
This time of the day, you know, it's this time of the year also. It's a bit overcast, but even the clouds give it a great semblance. And sometimes with the sunset, the clouds capture the sun rays, and there's so much colour. It makes it really, really quite beautiful. But yeah, it's even sort of in Brasilia here, we love the Niemeyer architecture. The Oscar Niemeyer architecture, whether it's you know, the presidential palace, or whether it's the building of Itamaraty, the foreign affairs building, or the cathedral. There's just so much to admire about this wonderful architect who was you know, 100 years ahead of his time in terms of the innovations of his architecture. And it's great that I have friends from other parts of the world who know about Oscar Niemeyer and have been studying him, architectural students, and are really sort of very much into his kind of architecture. So yeah, there's a lot to see. And of course, even this house is is an architectural masterpiece by one of Brazil's most famous architects who specialised in wooden structures, Zinene, and he is. We didn't know it at the time when we moved into it, but we found a lot about this house ever since. So it's great to be able to see this Brazilian artistry, this Brazilian brilliance in terms of structure and architecture, as well as the natural environment and the natural landscape.
Oh. Nossa, depois dessa declaração de amor, né, a Oscar Niemeyer, ao que é Brasília, essa obra de arte, né, uma cidade que foi pensada, que foi projetada de uma forma tão respeitosa, de uma forma tão linda para receber o nosso programa, para receber todos vocês, né, Carol Félix, que também é arquiteta. Então a gente fica muito feliz porque o embaixador de Malta é realmente uma pessoa, nós o conhecemos há uns 3 anos e o admiramos, né, querido amigo. E ele tem essa sensibilidade de olhar para a nossa cidade, que é escultura, arte, cultura, inovação. Esse amor do embaixador para dizer, né, da nossa cidade, que foi projetada por Lúcio Costa e que foi pensada, né, décadas depois, como é que essa cidade ainda vai ser uma cidade moderna, que vai abraçar o Brasil e o mundo, sim. E Niemeyer, então, chega para coroar este projeto com prédios inovadores. Então, como a catedral, os palácios e tudo que você vê aqui, né, a céu aberto, realmente nós temos essa vista lindíssima. Embaixador, fale para o público de casa, agora vamos fazer mais um convite para eles, para melhor época para conhecer Malta. Olha, Wiliam, melhor época para conhecer Malta, qual é o momento agora mesmo? Quem tem filhos que as crianças vão entrar em férias escolares, então no mês de janeiro, fevereiro, ainda é possível conseguir um pacote de viagens nessa época aí, janeiro, fevereiro, por exemplo, que está próximo, né, o nosso carnaval, para festejar em Malta?
We are now promoting Malta, of course, as being a great venue for tourism all year round.
Yeah.
This is the season of Christmas.
Yes.
It's winter in Malta, but winters in Malta are very mild. So it's not as if though you're going to be, shivering or you have to sort of protect yourself from a lot of snow or a lot of rain. The winters in Malta are very mild. And Christmas time, of course, is a fantastic time to visit Malta. Fantastic time. But then so are other parts. The peak tourist season, of course, is always in July and August, because in Northern Europe or in the Northern Hemisphere, they're always the holiday seasons. People travel a lot, and it's great. The beaches and the water sports in Malta are fantastic. Lately, we've won many awards for our diving venues in Malta, and people are discovering the great underwater paradise, not just what you see on the top of the water, not just Malta itself, the great underwater paradise that surrounds Malta. And a lot of prominent divers are coming there now for diving excursions and diving holidays. Then there are, in the other months, there are the churches and the museums to visit, and people...
Hypogeum.
Oh, the Hypogeum, yes.
Ooh.
Although if you're going to the Hypogeum, you've got to book some months in advance because the demand for the Hypogeum is very, very high. This is a very unique part of our Maltese history. The Hypogeum is an underground temple of the prehistoric ages, during the Stone Age period. And of course we have megalithic temples as well. People don't know that the oldest man-made constructions
Mais
in the
antigo
world
que as pirâmides.
are older
Sim.
than the pyramids are in Malta. Megalithic temples, 7,000 years old.
Yes.
Some of them built by Stone Age people, working with very, very crude instruments and moving these stone slabs that are 3-5 tons. Incredible engineering, incredible ingenuity from people who had very simple tools. Okay, well, William, we've spoken about so many things, but I want to talk about something which is very close to my heart, and that is something that is not often spoken about, except by quite academic people, and that is, Malta as being one of the great sort of cradles of modern civilization.
Yes.
We have in Malta the oldest man-made structures in the world, 7,000 years old. Thousands of years older than the pyramids. And these are what we call our megalithic temples.
Yes.
We have a number of them, not only in Malta, but also in the sister island of Gozo. And they're all UNESCO heritage sites. And just magnificent to behold. People don't realize that these temples were built by Stone Age people who had not yet invented the wheel. Yet they had the mathematical knowledge to be able to trace the movement of the moon and the sun and some of the stars, and they built these temples in such a way so that they reflected this movement. And in temples, you will see that, for example, in the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, the sun will come directly through holes into these constructions that have been made by these very, very ancient people onto altars where they had sacrifices at that time. Yes. But also we have a number of, because Malta is made of limestone, so we have a lot of caves in Malta. And we have many caverns, some of them have not yet been discovered, where ancient people used to live in those caverns, or they used to store food in those caverns. And one of the most famous ones is the Hypogeum, which is an underground temple where we know that people lived and people were buried, where there were various religious rites practiced, particularly to the goddess of fertility. And you'll see a number of stone images of that goddess in Malta. And this is just incredible to see the ingenuity of these people who lived in Stone Age times before the discovery of any kind of metal, who had no metal tools to work with, and yet they were able to move these slabs of stone that weighed 3 to 5 tons and place them into various geometric patterns to reflect the movement of the planets and the sun and the moon, and have it all worked out mathematically. It's astounding. It's astounding. And people, scientists and historians, even today, are still marveling and trying to guess, trying to work out how these people were able to do this, what motivated them to do this. And of course, as I said, we are predominantly a limestone rock jutting out of the Mediterranean Sea, and limestone is a rock that erodes and creates various caverns. So we are discovering new things all the time, things that we didn't know existed, and sometimes even on building sites, somebody would start a building and then we would have to stop the construction because of the discovery of some historical feature there. So there is so much about Malta that is known, but so much of it is still unknown, so much of it still to be discovered, which is, of course, a great enticement, a great temptation for visitors who come to Malta, because they come to Malta maybe thinking they know something about Malta, but no matter how much they know, they will discover, they will see, they will experience so much more.
Uau! Já foi feito o convite mais uma vez, porque nós perguntamos agora novamente sobre o hipogeu, porque os arqueólogos cada vez descobrem mais espaços, mais deste grande templo que tem várias ramificações, e também porque Malta, na verdade, é um país, é um lugar habitado há milhares e milhares de anos. As pirâmides os faraós nem pensavam em construir as pirâmides, e o hipogeu já existia há muito tempo. Olha, embaixador, nós estamos chegando ao final do programa e queremos deixar uma lembrança de Natal para o Senhor e gostaríamos também que o Senhor lembrasse para o público de casa sobre, né, hoje é um programa de Natal e gostaríamos de falar, então, sobre Paulo, quando Paulo esteve em Malta e ele escreveu cartas em Malta. Então, Malta é tão antigo e é tão conhecida no mundo inteiro e na história da humanidade que é citada na Bíblia, né? Paulo, a carta de Paulo, aí ele vai escrever, não sei se era aos Coríntios, eu lembro que Paulo, na Bíblia, fazendo a pesquisa, claro, lendo, Paulo escreve cartas de Paulo na ilha, qual foi a ilha Gozo ou foi em Comino que ele escreveu? Ele escreveu numa das ilhas de Malta uma das cartas quando lá esteve. Então, para o Senhor, qual a satisfação de saber que o seu país, muito antigo, é citado na Bíblia? E é uma citação muito importante, é algo muito importante.
Yeah. I made the comment before about Malta being a Christian country, and of course
Yes.
Malta owes its Christianity to St. Paul. St. Paul was to be tried, and because he was a Roman citizen, he insisted on being tried in Rome. While he was being taken to Rome as a prisoner, there was a massive storm, and his ship was shipwrecked in Malta. And he spent some 3 months there in Malta. And during the course of those 3 months, he converted the Maltese into Christians and created many miracles, which are very famous. And this is very well written up in the Acts of the Apostles in the Bible. So there's a lot of history there. And we call St. Paul our father. He's a patron saint of Malta, of course. No matter where you go, St. Paul is very well known and recognised, and you know we have a great fidelity and a great piety towards St. Paul. And I would hope that maybe someday we might be able to establish a link between a place in Malta and maybe São Paulo here, sort of like a sister city link or something like that. We're working on that as well. So there's good opportunities there, but also with St. Paul, that he is a saint who is so revered in Malta. Something that is so unique. Shipwrecked on his way to Rome. Of course, eventually he kept going to Rome, where he was tried and imprisoned for some time before he was executed, before he was beheaded. So the stories of St. Paul are endless, but we are very proud of the fact that we owe our Christianity and the father of our Christianity is St. Paul, and we owe it to St. Paul. And here in Brazil recently, there has been a big documentary made about the life of St. Paul, and there was a big Brazilian team of journalists who came to Malta, and they spent quite a fair bit of time there filming the footsteps of St. Paul, the place where he went, the cave in which he lived at the time that he was captive there on the island, and talking about the great miracles which he worked. One of the great stories was the fact that when St. Paul came to Malta, we used to have these small snakes that were poisonous. And on one occasion, St. Paul was there, and there was a fire being made, and the snake came out and bit a person, and St. Paul cured that person, healed that person, and it's been told that no snake in Malta has ever had poison since.
Verdade.
So it's one of the great stories. One of the great stories. And also he converted the Roman quaestor, the Roman consul who was in charge of Malta at the time, and made him a Christian. And in fact, ended up being St. Publius, ended up being the first bishop of Malta, a saint, and has a huge church in his honor, just on the entrance into Valletta. There's a lot of history there. I mean, if we start on history, we'll never stop. We will never stop because you could tell a different story for a whole day, every day of the year, and there would still be more to tell.
Very good.
Amigos queridos, nós chegamos ao final de mais um programa Wiliam e o Mundo. E hoje, uma tarde muito especial, uma tarde início de noite, aqui na casa do nosso querido amigo, irmão, embaixador Aquilina. Sim, my brother. E queremos mandar um abraço, um beijo para todos vocês que nos assistem em vários lugares do Brasil e do mundo. Então vamos ver, eu tenho que lembrar algumas cidades, né, principais, porque assim, são muitas, mas tem nossos seguidores, nossos amigos fiéis que nos assistem em Brasília, Belo Horizonte, Cristina, Iraí, Carazinho, Governador Valadares, Pará de Minas, Manhuaçu, Belo Horizonte, Cuiabá, Belém, Florianópolis, Jequié, lá na Bahia, Nova Viçosa, Salvador, Porto Alegre, quem nos assiste também em Vitória, no Espírito Santo, lá em Manaus, Cuiabá, para os nossos amigos que estão nos vendo em Campo Grande, para os amigos que estão nos vendo em Curitiba, Manaus, Belém, acho que já repeti alguma cidade aí, Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, embaixador, Iraí, Carazinho, Passo Fundo, para todos vocês que estão de norte a sul, leste a oeste do Brasil nos assistindo, um beijo no seu coração e para os nossos amigos que estão nos vendo também na Itália, no Grande-Ducado Luxemburgo, nossos amigos que estão nos assistindo em Malta, na Sicília, nossos amigos que estão nos vendo em Dili, lá no Timor-Leste, sim, para os nossos amigos da Indonésia, nossos amigos que estão nos vendo em Bangladesh, em Taiwan, também os nossos amigos que nos veem na Inglaterra, nos Estados Unidos, em Barbados, em Aruba, também os nossos amigos no Panamá, na Romênia, na Argentina, para quem está nos vendo também, estão nos vendo lá na China, sim, na Romênia, né? Eu já falei, né? O país do Drácula, pois é. Para quem está nos vendo também em Israel, nas Ilhas Cabo Verde, lá em Praia, na cidade de Mindelo, em Cabo Verde, para os nossos amigos que estão nos assistindo em Angola, na Inglaterra. Então, temos uma lembrança, embaixador, temos aqui uns presentes para o senhor. Pam, pararam. Olha aqui, tem uma sacola aqui, esperamos que o senhor possa gostar, tá?
Obrigado.
Eu acho que o senhor vai gostar, meu amigo. Tem um café aqui da fazenda. Eu acho que o senhor vai gostar. Acho que
I
vai.
also have a gift for you too. This is a
E ela que
brownie
fez.
that I made by myself.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
So it's a chocolate and brownie.
Yes.
Chocolate and brownie.
Yes.
Artesanal.
We have something like this that we make in Malta. We call it figolla, but we do it at Easter time.
Oh, very good.
But I have something for you as well.
Beautiful, olha que bonito. Olha, da Carol, que bonito. E queremos mais uma vez agradecer a todos vocês que nos assistem, tá? Então, assim, nossos amigos que estão nos vendo em todos esses lugares, é uma grande, imensa satisfação termos passado um ano tão feliz, tão importante e agradável com vocês. Agradecendo mais uma vez a nossa produtora, que também que faz toda a parte de produção, cinegrafista, né? Que é a Caroline Félix. Meu amigo.
William.
Vou levantar.
You know, Christmas is a time for giving, and one of the things we give at Christmas time are hampers, food hampers and other things. So we have this hamper for you with many different varieties of things, which we hope will help you really enjoy this Christmas.
Thank you very much,
okay?
my friend.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you
Caroline,
very much.
we have a gift for you too.
Olha que bonito. Thank you very much, my friend.
Okay,
Olha.
so Caroline,
Thank you.
Very important. Please, very important. Coffee. My family coffee.
Family
For
coffee?
you. Yes.
Oh, very good.
Organic coffee.
Organic coffee?
From my family. Very special for your house. Present.
Oh,
very, please.
Very good.
Please.
Okay.
Very important. Okay. Have a card. Card for you. Okay.
So well.
Mas I see. It's a very, very important protection for your house. As irmãs de Santa Júlia enviaram para o Senhor uma Santa Júlia biliar.
Santa Júlia.
Yes, Santa Júlia biliar the original Santa Júlia biliar para a sua casa, meu amigo, tá bom?
Okay. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Beautiful.
Então, pessoal, nós chegamos ao final de mais um programa Wiliam e o Mundo. Queremos agradecer a todos vocês o carinho e desejar que o Espírito Santo, que o Cristo vivo, continue iluminando e resplandecendo a cada dia mais e mais e nascendo de novo nos corações de todos vocês e na casa de cada um de vocês. Com imagens e produção de Caroline Félix e hoje com a participação especial deste amigo, meu amigo e irmão, embaixador John Aquilina, e também agradecemos a embaixatriz Aquilina que preparou para nós essa recepção tão calorosa nessa casa que nos acolhe. Então, mandamos um beijo para todos vocês, com a produção de Caroline Félix e com patrocínio há 8 anos de Honda Auto House, a excelência atendimento Honda. Um beijo no coração de todos. Feliz Navidad, tararatata, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero ano e felicidade. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Tchau!
Feliz Natal!
Feliz Natal!
Feliz Natal!
There we go!
My bestie, yeah. My partner in crime, my homie for life. My bestie, my ride or die, yeah. They always come through, I'm telling the truth, and all I need is you. The best part about you is you're my bestie. The rest when I need you. The best part of me is my bestie, my bestie, my bestie. The best and my bestie, my partner in crime, my homie for life.
Você sabia que pode cuidar do seu carro em até 60 minutos? Isso mesmo! Na Honda Auto House, eles oferecem o serviço Express, garantindo que o seu Honda receba toda a atenção que merece. Manutenção rápida e eficiente, profissionais qualificados, peças originais, garantindo a qualidade e segurança do seu veículo. Agende seu horário e sinta a diferença de um serviço que atende você e seu Honda. Honda Auto House, a excelência em atendimento Honda.